Hey, welcome back to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate it if you purchase your next watch from us at JazzTime.com. And if this is your next watch, well, that'd be quite an upgrade because this is the Patek Philippe Nautilus self-winding chronograph with the date, reference number 5980-5980 otherwise, /1AR. This one is still in production as of 2021, all right? Also in production last year in 2020, and certainly a banger it is. All right, so we'll be going over the case, the dial, the bezel, the crown functions, as well as this little doohickey down here. More on that in a moment. That's a little specific little pusher. And the bracelet, as well as the movement, and I'll be giving my thoughts on all of these features throughout this video. All right, now starting off with the dial, or rather the case, we have a complete and steel construction for the main portion of the case. We have rose gold as part of the bezel sort of latching onto the sides of the case, as you can see in these crown guards, as well as on the 9 o'clock side. All right, so their website says that it is steel and rose gold, but I maintain that the case itself is just steel. We have a scratch resistant sapphire case back for the exhibition case back, as well as on the front of this dial. All right. Now, taking a look at the finishing here, we have a satin brush finishing along the front of the case. If you can just sort of ignore the bezel and the dial for a moment. So it's vertical brushing, nice and even, as well as brushing from the 12 to 6 along the sides, the flanks of this watch as well. And also a high polished little bevel on the corners, the edges here, sort of flaring outward onto the bracelet, which is integrated into the case here. Okay, now taking a look at this bezel, we have a rose gold bezel, 18 karat rose gold with matching sort of satin brush finishing vertical as well, with a high polished bevel and a satin brush finishing underneath that on the flanks here, the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock sides. All of these working together, sort of alternating, giving you a sense of, depth and sort of modularity to this otherwise, very, very cohesive design here from Patek Philippe. And they call this a rounded octagonal bezel. I want to say that this is more like a 10 or 12 sided, so like a decagon or dodecagon. It depends if you count a little vertex down here at the 3 and the 9, then you'd have a 12-sided, whatever. Point is, it's not perfectly round, all right? But that's okay, because this is sort of the Patek Philippe, the sort of Nautilus style. This is when you get a Nautilus, this is the sort of shape that you're getting, and this is the sort of thing that you're getting into. All right, so when it comes to the case size, we have the 40.5 millimeter case size, so from finger to thumb, that's the 2 to 7, or 2 to 8 o'clock diameter, or 10 to 4, same measurement. Right? We also have a thickness of 12.2 millimeters, so it's not incredibly thick, but not incredibly thin either. So this is sort of like somewhere in the middle when it comes to a chronograph style watch, and I'd say it's more a little bit closer to the thinner side of chronograph style watches. So this can certainly fit. It will certainly fit under a jacket sleeve. You may struggle to get it under a very tight fitting suit cuff, but if your suit's a little bit on the looser end, this will be just fine for you. All right, now taking a look at the dial here, we have what's known as the blue gradient dial with these horizontal striations here, giving it that sort of wood plank seafaring aesthetic, with also a sort of sunburst sunray finish, like you would see with the very, very fine guilloche patterning. You can't really see it here on the video, but if you look under a loupe, you can probably see it. But in any case, it's extremely nice and distinctive patterning, and that's what makes this specific model so desirable. There are other models for this Nautilus, such as the brown dial, all gold, all rose gold. There's also a brown dial with the alligator leather strap, or if you're going for the, you know, the economical, the 5990, the Nautilus travel time chronograph, that one is sort of like a smoky gray dial, but it's kind of its own class. It's not really the full-on Nautilus with just the chronograph and the date. All right, now speaking of the date here, we also have just the date aperture at the 3 o'clock position. The chronograph functions all down here at the 6 o'clock. As you can see, it's also a radial blue finish on those subdials. And we have two subdials here. And if you can sort of distinguish, there's actually two hands there mounted at the 6 o'clock side of the watch. The outermost being a sort of 60-minute dial, or yeah, it's sort of like a 60-minute dial, whereas the inner dial is a 12-hour dial. So you can have this chronograph running for quite a long time. As you can see, it's a center-mounted chronograph hand, but we don't have a seconds hand here to speak of. Now, why is that? I've thought about this, and you know, most people don't actually refer to, if someone were to ask you, hey, what time is it? Well, you'd probably just give them the hour and the minute. You're not going to give them the second value, right? So the seconds hand is actually kind of irrelevant when it comes to a chronograph, because when you're tracking seconds, all that matters is what the chronograph is picking up. And so the chronograph hand, center mounted, the longest, sort of that lance style hand, as you can see moving around, sweeping all the way around, that is the only hand that actually seems to matter when it comes to tracking individual seconds. And so you have that the outboard chaptering, the most fine-toothed index marks going all around the peripheral, and that's what the chronograph hand is pointing to. That's what it uses to measure time. All right, and so in order to get that working, just simply press this top pusher at the 2 or 1:30 position. To stop it, press it again, and then at the 4:30 position to reset it, as well as the subdials at the 6 o'clock. You can just simply press the button pusher and it just flies back to 0. Nice and easy there. All right, now taking a look at the crown functions here, you can simply unwind the crown at the 3 o'clock to the first position. This allows you to wind the watch. If you're at a dead stop, maybe 20 to 30 full winds is all you really need. So once you start feeling that damping starting to ramp up, it's a very subtle damping, but once you have this watch in your possession, you'll get used to it. All right, so you don't want to overwind it because you could potentially damage the movement, as is the case with all watches, all mechanical watches that wind using the winding crown. All right, pull the crown out to the only other position. This allows you to set the minute hand. Now, this is also an interesting little point here, because there's no hacking seconds function because there are no seconds hands here. So and if you have your chronograph hand moving, it just keeps on going. That's because you can just control it and you can stop it wherever you want. So that's your hacking seconds right there. And if that really matters, if you use your chronograph hand as your large seconds hand, well, you can just stop it. And then based on where it's positioned on the dial, say, I don't know, the 15-second position, if I can just stop it there for a moment, all right, then you can place your minute hand precisely where it needs to go, about a quarter past the 10-minute mark there, all right? And then just start up your seconds hand or your large chrono hand, depending on how you look at it, all right? But otherwise, you can just sort of set your minute hand with impunity. You can set your minute hand whenever you want, wherever you want, because again, when someone asks you for the time, you're just going to give them the hours and the minutes, not the seconds. So that's basically all that matters here, all right? Now, taking a look, also, this little extra feature, the luminescence of this watch, we have the sort of like a greenish luminescence, and it's incredibly bright. So my camera's not having any trouble focusing here. You have all the index marks glowing brightly, at least all the ones present on this dial, and the hour and minute hands being the thickest, they also shine the brightest, and also last quite a long time. So it works very well in any low light situation. All right. Now, taking a look at the movement, which is what makes all of this possible, is the self-winding caliber CH28520 C/522. Now, let me undo the clasp here so we can get a better look here at this movement. All right, so we have the exhibition case back, so you can actually see it. You have all that extra gill shape patterning and the 22 karat gold, or 21 karat, sorry, gold central mounted rotor. So that rotor does actually have extra momentum as it swings around when you are wearing this on your wrist. So you do get that extra sense, that security that it will certainly be a self-winding movement. Very well done here. All right, now taking a look, we also have a diameter 30 millimeters, a thickness of 6.63 millimeters, 13 bridges, 35 jewels, with total number of parts being a 327. We have a Gyromax balance with a Spiromax balance spring, right? So under there, so all that basically means is that you can get relatively close to magnets as you typically would on a normal day, and you can take a few bumps here and there and it'll be keeping track of time just fine. So it also beats at a vibration per hour rating of 28,800 or 4 hertz per hour, 28,800 vibrations per hour, and it also has a total power reserve of between 45 to 55 hours. Now that all depends on the mainspring barrel. All of the parts here are actually handmade, so you do have that slight little differential within, you know, with all handmade parts basically, and the only part that could have that variable would be that mainspring barrel. So again, between 45 and 55 hours, so you can basically wear this for about 2 days without having to wind the watch or even moving it, or if you just sit it down rather. So keep that in mind when you're using this watch. But even then, the literal time measurement is not that big of a deal, because again, you're only referring to the hours and minutes when it comes to time. When it comes to telling the time, if you need these seconds, you have full control over that with the chronograph functions here. So nice and easy to use, nice and easy to read, and they only give you exactly what you need. And I think this is kind of the big brain feature, the 9000 IQ feature of this Patek Philippe Nautilus. All right, very good there. Now taking a look at this integrated bracelet, we have the intermediate links all being a high polish, complete with my fingerprints of course, matching 18 karat rose gold with steel H-shaped links, and the tolerance here is incredibly amazing, because if you run your fingers along the sides of this this bracelet, also satin finished, you have absolutely no weird edges. There's no sense that, you know, you could potentially feel these on your wrist, and the tapering is so gentle and just so soft actually when it comes to the feel of these H-shaped links. All right, we also have little pins for the sizing, so if you need to size this, you can't really do so on the fly unless you have the tools available and necessary to do so. You also have this sort of clamshell clasp here. You can lift it and then use this to open up the clasp like so. All right, it's a pull open clasp, butterfly style, double sort of, not really a double deployment, but double deployment style as you would find in, say, Audemars Piguet watches or anything similar like that. And while we're here, I can actually try it on, give you my thoughts as to how it wears on the wrist. Now, this one has pretty much all the links on here, so there's plenty of overhang, plenty of extra space there on my wrist. Now, I measured 18 centimeters or 7 inches in circumference. So on my wrist, this is a little bit big because, you know, 40 millimeter or 41-ish millimeter watch, pretty big on me. But I do love this dial. I do like the overall presentation here, because that rose gold really sort of stands out with those rose gold index markers as well, standing out very nicely against that blue backdrop. Very, very high contrast, very good sense of color theory as well, because sort of that red or rose or orangey, yellowy gold tones here present in the bezel as well as on the hands. The index markers, they pop forward against the bluer, cooler background there. All right. Sorry, I'm choking on myself. Okay, so it gives it a very, very easy sense of readability with that blue backdrop. And what a backdrop it is. Incredibly beautiful with that nice sunray patterning there. And on my wrist at least, I do get plenty of sort of overhang of these lugs. They don't hang beyond the edges of my wrist here, but there's plenty of space underneath these lugs for extra breathability, I presume, but that's not really necessary for me because, you know, these there's plenty of space among all of these links, even between like a main link and an intermediate link. There's some space in there as well. So the wrist breathes very nicely, very, very comfortable for a luxury style watch here. And it's incredibly soft. It feels like a Jubilee bracelet. It feels like a President bracelet from Rolex, but it's just that much better because it's Patek Philippe doing Patek Philippe things. Okay, so why would you buy this watch? It's so expensive, and let me pull up the prices here in just a moment. If you refer to their website, as of early 2021, this watch retails for about $70,000, but you know, it being Patek Philippe and all of their timepieces being, you know, handmade, hand finished, well, they only make so many per year, and so the only real actual potential option most people have is to get it on the gray market. So the markup, unfortunately, is all the way up to currently about $130,000 for one of these watches. This bad boy right here retails for about $130,000, at least as of the making of this video. But you do have other options. There's the, you know, what I referred to earlier, the brown dial with the all gold construction. That one has a price tag of 96 or 97,000 retail, much higher on the gray market. You can get a slightly lower costing one also with the rose gold construction with the case, but with the alligator strap, that one brings down the price significantly to 69,000. But again, you're going to be looking at close to 90 to 100, if not higher, $1,000 for that one. So this one's sort of right in the middle when it comes to the other offerings from Patek Philippe's Nautilus date chronograph complication sort of watch models. So again, why would you get this one? This is so incredibly expensive, but hey, if you have the money to throw down on one of these, sure, why not? Because it does have all those features that I covered earlier in this video. It has that very distinctive look. You see this octagonal, quote unquote, octagonal bezel, more like a decagonal bezel on someone's wrist, you know it's a Patek Philippe. You see this blue dial, you know it's highly desirable because, let's face it, who doesn't like the color blue? Go ahead, let me know down in the comments below. I'll wait. And if I hear silence from you, then I'll know, you know, blue is extremely desirable. Who doesn't love blue? Well, they're wrong, obviously, because this is an absolutely beautiful sense of like value in shading, tones, tints. You have every single value of this nice deep blue hue on this dial. So just having that alone is incredibly amazing. And even just the experience of wearing this watch, a little bit on the heavier side when it comes to the weight, but you're certainly getting what you pay for. All that gold content is certainly felt in this heavy case bezel, as well as, you know, the movement being that 21 karat rotor. It's incredibly heavy, and you know, it will keep it wound very nicely. All right, so that's about it for this video, and let us know what you think about this watch down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know, would you rather get this one or the 100K retail version, all gold with the black or smoky brown dial? And oh yeah, there's one little aspect here that I said I was going to go over, and I lied and sort of forgot about it, and that's the date. How do you set the date on this thing? Well, you're going to have to use this little supplied pusher here to use this little push mark here. So the easiest way for me, I'm right-handed, so hold it steady, keep it nice and still there, and once you press it in, it actuates the quick set date. All right, and you can do this at just about any time of the day. So if you need to, you can just have this little tool handy and advance the date forward whenever you need to. And just for the irregular months that are, you know, say 30 or February as well, you can just simply use this to advance the date if you don't feel like advancing your minute and hour hand manually. Okay, so very, very easy, nice clicky actuation, feels very good to use there. All right, so anyway, that's it for real this time for this video. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Be sure to like this video as it helps us out. Subscribe if you haven't already so you can see more videos like this coming in the future, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when it goes live. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch, visit our website, jazztime.com. Links in the description below. Buy it from us so I can feed my dog. You love dogs. I love blue. We all love blue. You probably love dogs too. Why not? Help us out. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.